first Nintendo 64 in December of 1997. And I can still remember the very first game that I got for it, and that was Diddy Kong Racing. I remember playing this game almost non-stop. I was actually mad that I had to stop to take breaks for the restroom or to eat or to sleep. I had already played my fair share of Mario Kart 64, and I was just hoping that Diddy Kong Racing would be at least half as good as that. Well, let's just say this game is, it's better than half as good. In fact, it is to this day the 6th best-selling game for the Nintendo 64. That's pretty impressive. So let's take a look at Diddy Kong Racing for the Nintendo 64.
The game was not originally intended to use the Donkey Kong license, and I've heard all kinds of stories of what it was meant to be. Everything from a real-time strategy game involving time travel and cavemen to a sequel to RC Pro-Am. Another story is that the game was supposed to be a cartoony racer inspired by Disney theme parks to be exact. Evidence of some of this still exists in the game. And Rare would later go on to release Mickey's Speedway USA, so I guess it does make sense. During development of Diddy Kong Racing, Rare was also working on another title at the time called Banjo-Kazooie. But with the release date of that game being pushed back, they decided they needed a big blockbuster name to keep the money rolling in until their future platformer saw his first starring role. And that's when they decided to use the Donkey Kong franchise for this game. Diddy Kong to be exact. Along with Diddy, not that Diddy, you can play as some of his friends, including some familiar faces. Well, maybe not yet familiar at the time, but Banjo-Kazooie made his video game debut here, as well as Conker. Yes, that Conker. Each character has unique handling, top speed, and acceleration attributes, and these are extremely important to each race. Most players will usually find that one character that they prefer and master his or her style. I've gotten very familiar with Diddy and usually always use him. Sometimes when I'm playing as somebody else, I become embarrassingly terrible at the game. Unlike previous kart racers, Diddy Kong Racing was very innovative as it offers 3 different vehicle types. There are cars, hovercrafts, and planes to choose from, and not all levels will offer all 3 options, but most of the stages will let you select from at least 2 out of the 3 vehicle types. There are advantages and disadvantages to the vehicle you select depending on the stage. For example, if a level has various areas of water, a car is going to slow down drastically, so the hovercraft or plane would probably be your best bet. You'll race around Timbers Island in 5 different themed worlds or areas, including Dino Domain, Snowflake Mountain, Sherbet Island, Dragon Forest, and Future Funland. The levels are extremely creative, colorful, and filled with different routes and shortcuts you can take. Just like in Mario Kart, this is a weapon-based racer, and weapons can be picked up from balloons that are scattered throughout each level. Red balloons will grant you rockets, blue balloons give you boost, green gives you drop-behind weapons such as oil slicks, yellow will grant you a shield that makes you temporarily immune to attack, and rainbow balloons will give the player a magnet which can be used to target a specific character and draw you closer to that character with a quick boost of speed. One of the coolest things about the weapon system is that every weapon can be upgraded. Upgrades can be obtained by collecting multiple same color balloons. For example, if you collect a red balloon, you'll get a standard rocket. If you keep that rocket and collect another red balloon, it will be upgraded to a homing rocket. And if you collect a third balloon, that homing rocket will upgrade to an arsenal of 10 rockets. But as cool as this weapon system is, it feels like there's not as much weapon use compared to a game like Mario Kart. For example, if you're in first place in Mario Kart, you pretty much know you're about to get hammered with something. I mean, you're a moving target. Here, if you're in first, you're more likely to lose your place by a level hazard than an enemy's weapon. But then again, there's no blue shell here. Thank God. Scattered throughout each level are bananas, and these are actually vital to gameplay on harder difficulties. Each banana you collect will actually help to aid in your top speed. A player can collect up to 10 bananas, but you can also lose these bananas by taking damage from a weapon. These also do not regenerate as the balloons do, and the computer opponents can pick these up as well, so make sure to pick up as many as you can during the first lap. Zippers are also laid out in each stage, and these will give you a short boost of speed. There are 3 different types of zippers here, one designed for each vehicle type. You can also get a little extra boost of speed by releasing the accelerator right before you hit a zipper. Some people say that tapping A afterwards also adds a bit more speed, and I don't know if that's true or not, but I still find myself doing it, just in case. This is a really nice looking game. At the time of its release, it was praised for its visual presentation. Originally, they were going to include sprites for the player images, similar to Mario Kart 64, but later decided to go with fully 3-dimensional characters. This made things a little harder in development, but they managed to pull it off with minimal slowdown. Also, most racing games on the N64 at the time featured the infamous fogging issues, but this game does not suffer from that, which again is very impressive. The music was handled by David Wise, and he was known for his work on games such as RC Pro-Am, Marble Madness, Battletoads, and Donkey Kong Country. The music is lighthearted, fun, and bright. It fits with the overly colorful and cheery world of Timber Island and all of its areas. I've always liked the music here, it just works so well with it, and I really couldn't picture anything different here. Adventure mode is what set this game apart from Mario Kart and really drew me in as a kid. You're placed into the heart of Timber Island with the goal of completing races in each world to advance. You'll have to collect gold balloons to continue to advance, as each world and level within a world require a certain amount of gold balloons. Gold balloons are rewarded to you by completing races, but a few of them can also be found hidden within Timber Island's main area. At the end of each world is a boss race, and a lot of these can be tricky and usually require a pretty good strategy to complete. After you defeat a boss battle for the first time, the levels in that world can now be played again with the goal of collecting 10 coins while still placing in each race. After each level is beaten again in this mode, you can play the boss for the second time to unlock a piece of the Wizpig amulet. This also unlocks the trophy race, which places you in a tournament, racing in each stage from that world, and completing each race in first place will earn you a gold trophy. By the time you reach the boss of the game, Wizpig, you might be thinking you're almost done, but after defeating him, you simply unlock the last world in the game, Future Funland, and here you'll have to repeat the process from each world before until you defeat Wizpig for the final time. This actually unlocks Adventure 2 mode, which now features mirrored tracks and different coin locations. They definitely made sure you weren't going to run out of things to do in this game, and I can really appreciate that. There are also keys hidden within each of the first 4 worlds, and finding these keys will unlock the battle modes to play in single player or multiplayer. These battle stages are actually pretty addicting, especially with a few friends. There's some pretty good variety here. One stage has you flying around trying to find eggs that need to be hatched before enemies can snatch them from your nest to take to theirs. Another level has you collecting bananas that need to be returned to your treasure chest before your opponent fills theirs. And the other 2 stages are simply weapon battles like those seen in the Mario Kart series. I enjoy the inclusion of these stages as they break up the racing action a bit, and again are really vital to the multiplayer experience. This game represents a very happy time in my life, my first Nintendo 64 game, one of my favorite Christmases that I can remember, and one of my favorite genres of video games. I've had a great time playing through this game, many times throughout the years in fact, and I look forward to doing so again many more times throughout my lifetime. If you're into kart racers and for some strange reason still haven't played Diddy Kong Racing, please do yourself a favor and buy this game as soon as possible.